Hello and welcome back to Knitting with Betty. I am Betty and today I'm going to be talking about all things knitting and what's been going on in my life. So first thing, rather sadly, last week we lost one of our dogs. She was very old, she was deaf and blind, bless her, and she was really sort of suffering towards the end, so unfortunately we had to let her go. So at the end of the episode I'll probably do a little slideshow of all her puppy pictures and pictures from over the year, or years rather, that we had her. So yeah, it was very sad. We had her 16 and a half years, so we were very lucky to have her that long. And she was only a tiny little thing, but she's left a big hole in our hearts, and the house does feel weirdly quiet without her, even though she didn't make much noise really. So yeah, it's been a bit of a week trying to sort of get used to things. We still have Frank, who is her brother, and he's been a little bit up and down. Like the first few days he was okay, but he's been even more needy than usual, which is saying something because he's a very, very needy dog. He's a mama's boy. So I have never been one of these people that has their dogs sleep in their bed, but he has been sleeping on my bed with me for the past few days, just because he's lonely and he's missing her. So I don't know how long that will continue for, but he's very sad, bless him, and he's with me at the moment. He's down on the floor. If I could show you, I would, but my room's a mess. But he's snuggled up to a little hot water bottle, and so if you hear any groaning noises, that's the dog, not me. He does tend to groan whilst he gets comfortable in his sleep, or he might start moving around. So that's what you're hearing. But yes, so that was very sad this week. And then the other things, not even last month, the month before. Yeah, February, I forgot to tell you about something that I found very, very exciting. So I don't know if you are sporty type people, but I'm really not. But I got weirdly into the Winter Olympics this year, like weirdly so. But it was absolutely thrilling to watch, very exciting. And I liked it for a number of reasons. So the first reason was that there was a what they called commentating duo. One was called Tim, I know that, and I can't remember what the other guy's name was, but they were absolutely hilarious. They just got so excited about snowboarding and the skiing events that it was really joyous to watch because they were so funny. Do you want a cuddle, babe? No? It's all right. So that was one reason that I tuned in, because they were so funny. And the other reason was because the Norwegian team had the most fantastic knitwear on. And I looked into this. And as soon as I saw them, I said, I know who did that, because I'd watched a programme. There's a train journey that takes you from Bergen to Oslo in Norway. And they had a programme on it, and halfway through the journey they stopped at a knitwear factory, which was Dala of Norway. And as soon as I saw the Olympic team wearing these sweatshirts, I knew, like, that's a Dala of Norway. And it was because I knew from the distinctive pattern that was all over the sweater that's who it was, but they also had the brand naming on the side, so definitely was them. And I looked it up afterwards, and it turns out that this knitwear company, has been sponsoring the Winter Olympic team since the 1950s. And so I just thought, well, if they can do it, why can't the British team be sponsored by a Shetland knitwear company? Wouldn't that be so cool if all the British team wore Shetland sweaters? Marketing hat on. So they're missing a trick there, aren't they, if they don't? But so since the 50s, every time the Winter Olympics has been held, the Norwegian team are kitted out in, it's much like the teams will be kitted out in their like national kit anyway, but they just have these beautiful sweaters as well included in part of the kit. And not only are they practical, because of course you can wear them skiing, but they're very beautiful as well. So Shetland is definitely missing a trick. And how cool would that be to have like a Fair Isle sweater that all the UK team are wearing? Anywho, so that was very exciting to look that up, and I'll pop a picture up of the 1950s type picture that they have on their website. But I just thought it was a really nice idea. It's a way to sort of showcase, you know, a very Norwegian company, and obviously Norway has a huge sort of history of knitting as well as skiing. They're very good at the cross-country skiing, the Norwegians, and there was one skier, I think it was Klarbo. He'd been like skiing for years and years and won like countless gold medals for Norway, and he like pulled off record-breaking things this Olympics as well. So yeah, I was weirdly into it. So I think the next Winter Olympics is in France, so that's not too far away. So I might try and see if I can get some tickets, try and go out and watch the skiing, because how fun would that be to, you know, go for some cheesy fondue and watch a bit of skiing and snowboarding, and maybe do a little bit of skiing or snowboarding myself, even though I'm rubbish. I have to say, the last time I went skiing was when I was 16, so that was good, you know, good few years ago. But yeah, weirdly into it. So that's what I forgot to say last time and the time before. You okay, baby boy? Do you want to meet everybody? Shall we show everybody? Say hello. This is Frankie having a little cuddle, because he had to come in here with me because he didn't know where I'd gone, and he's been very worried about, you know, if I leave the house or if I go anywhere, he's like, oh my god, she's left me forever, because his sister's gone, bless him. But you're all right, aren't you? Been very, very spoilt. I mean, he was quite spoilt before she passed away, so it's like 10 times that now. So he's fine. There you go, sorry, Bubs. You go back into bed. It's a good boy. So that was one of the things I forgot to mention last time. So knitting for this past month, I haven't actually got a lot of knitting to show you. I don't have any knitting to show you, actually. And that is because one of the things I was knitting is a secret project for my next knitting pattern after the Helen sweater. So I don't want to show you that just yet because it's still a work in progress. And then the blanket that I was knitting, I didn't really do very much of. So are you choking? We don't want that on camera. Okay. Good boy. There's a good boy. Settle down. Good boy. So the other thing that I have been knitting is the blanket that I was doing, and I haven't really got much further on that. So I tried to start sewing the lace trim around the outside edges, and the yarn that I'm using, the chenille, is really difficult to do mattress stitch with. So when you pull it through the stitches, it tends to shred off the chenille, just leaving like the stringy core. So it was driving me absolutely nuts. So I'm going to have to use a different yarn to sew it together, which should be okay. You shouldn't be able to see it once it's finished. But it will be a lot easier than persevering with the chenille, because I was having to cut like lengths of chenille about this long because it couldn't cope with anything bigger. And that just means that I've got millions of ends to weave in, which I don't have time for that. So I'm just going to use a wool or cotton or something spare that I've got going and to sew it together. So I haven't really done that much, but I can show you. I did go away, so I went away for 3 nights and 4 days to the Cotswolds, which is sort of in the middle bit of England. It's a very nice part of the country. It's very wealthy, and I didn't really know this at the time, but sort of reading the booklets that were left in the holiday cottage that I stayed at, A lot of the wealth in that area was built from the wool industry. So a lot of the buildings were created by sort of these wool merchants. So that was quite interesting to learn, but I don't think there's much wool industry there now these days. But there weren't that many yarn shops in the area. We did go to one. So I went with my good friend Steph, who runs Sugar River Yarns in, where is she? She's in Mount Horeb, which is just outside Madison, which is just outside Chicago. So if you're in the area, go and give her a visit. But she was over in the UK for a retreat. So afterwards we met up for a few days just to get away and just see the area and have a relax, really, and do some knitting. So we stayed in a little, well, it's not that little, in a town called Stow-on-the-Wold, which was absolutely lovely. It was really deceptive, actually, because it was quite rural, but it was a really busy little town. And it's not like where I live, where rural is rural and there's not that much around. All these little villages and towns are quite busy and quite vibrant. And, you know, a lot of people live around there. It's near Cheltenham. So there's sort of big employers in that area. And yeah, it was a really nice place that we stayed. It was Carter's Cottage, I think it was called. And it was lovely. We had a wood stove there, so we put a fire on every evening whilst we were knitting and watched some films. So the first day we stayed in Stow to explore, and there's loads and loads of antique shops in Stow. Like, some of them are more pricey than others. Some of them were like look, don't touch kind of places, way out of our price range. But there were a few that were a little bit cheaper, and there was one that was like lots of different stalls inside the shop. So there were lots of different price points, so you could find treasure if you looked hard enough. And then there was one that we went to that was absolutely fantastic. It was like a junk shop. It was like one of those stacked high, you have to rummage through, you don't know if something's going to fall on you. That was quite a good one. And I got from there, oh yes, that's what I got as well. So I got this really cute button tin. So I have since ruined it because I cleaned it and managed to scratch off some of the beautiful pattern on it. But yeah, full of like loads of different buttons. So I'm going to go through that, sort those out. But yeah, I just thought it was a beautiful little tin, and I can put my buttons in there. So that was £5, bargain. And then I got this gorgeous coronation mug, sort of QE2. So I just thought that was nice, and it's got a crack in it, so I can't use it as a cup. So just put like pencils or crochet hooks or something in that. And then after our antiquing, we went to the charity shops. So this is my big like tip. If you go charity shop shopping, go to rich towns, because you can find some absolute bargains in the charity shops, because rich people, like when they die, they like throw stuff away and then we can pick it up, right? So I didn't get too much. I got a little bird feeder that sticks to your window, because I'm really into birds. This is the other thing that I forgot to tell you about, which I will tell you about in a minute. But got the bird feeder, and I did manage to find some vintage patterns. So the first one is this rather dashing man here. I thought this one was quite nice. So that was double-sided vintage pattern there. So I snapped that up. Then the other one, this is the true treasure. Look at this one. So I reckon this is about the 1970s, but it is a booklet full of crocheted and knitted items for the home. So my personal favourite, let's see if I can find it. So there is the Crinoline Lady toilet roll cover, classic. But next to the Crinoline Lady is a poodle toilet roll cover. So I have a poodle like bottle cover that I really love, vintage pattern. But this is the toilet roll. How cool is that? And there's all sorts in here. So, oh God, it is falling apart. So that's the cover. So there's all sorts in here. We've got sponge bag for the bathroom, got teddy bears, there's a tortoise, there's cushions, there's sleeping socks, crochet ones and knitted ones, I think. There's these rather scary looking toys. Look at that lion, isn't it fab? And a creepy doll and an owl. So there's like toys for children. What else have we got? Pot holders, tea cozies and egg cozies. Oh, let me just show you those. Aren't they fab? It's a bit shiny, this paper. And then what else do we have? It's the owl. We've all got Humpty Dumpty. If you want a Humpty Dumpty. Knitted poodle. That's amazing. And then there's a knitting bag here, work bag, hot water bottle covers. There's so much in here. There's a hat, there's a knitted tie for the gentleman in your life, and there's a belt, a knitted belt. Or is it crochet? No, it's crochet. My bad. And a crochet tie, actually. And a knitted tie. Crochet and knitted tie. There you go, 2 for 1. Oh, I love this one. Just tea cozy, which is like a cottage. I think that's really, really cute. Zoom. There you go. Isn't it fab? So there's so much in here. And then last but not least, where is it? A knitted snake and a crochet like draft excluded actioned. Amazing, right? Amazing. So yeah, that was my treasure that I found in a charity shop. So that was day 1. Day 2, we ventured out of the town, so we went to Broadway, and Broadway had one of the yarn shops. So the other yarn shops weren't open because we got there on Saturday. My friend Steph didn't arrive till about 5 o'clock in the evening, so Saturday was a day we couldn't explore anything. So we just settled in for the evening. And then, because we were there Sunday, Monday, a lot of the shops were closed on Sunday, or the yarn shops were anyway, and a lot of them were closed on the Monday as well, so they didn't open to the Tuesday, and Tuesday is when we left. So we only went to the one yarn shop that was in Broadway. But we'd watched the night before some are you choking? Lovely. Okay, babe. So we'd watched the evening before, like a YouTuber or an American tourist had gone across to the Cotswolds and had sort of done a video on things to do in the area, and Broadway was one of them, and it looked really interesting. There was a donut shop which we did go to. We found it was amazing. I'll pop up a picture. And there was a museum. We didn't go to the museum, but for those who have children, apparently it had a children's play area that was absolutely fantastic. So this guy he left his wife and children in the play area and went to get the donuts, which I thought was quite funny. Just left the children. So yeah, if you have children, the museum's really great because there's stuff for adults to see, but there's also a really great children's play area. And what else is in Broadway? Yeah, there were lots of other shops. We went to a deli shop that was absolutely beautiful. We were all sort of cheesed out by then because we'd been the day before in Stow. We'd been to the Cotswold Cheese Company and bought loads of cheese. So we had our weight's worth in cheese. We didn't need any more. But yeah, there was a nice little deli shop there. So other than that, for Broadway, I think were there antique shops in Broadway? They might have been the really expensive ones. Can't remember. I don't think we did any antique shops there, but we did go to the wool shop there. And this one was more of a haberdasheries as well as a wool shop. So it was more haberdashery really, and the wool that was there was like I think they had Sirdar, they had like the acrylic type wools. They had a very small section of like more woolly wools, but and they had local wools as well from local sheeps or local sheep that sheep breeds rather. But they didn't have a huge range, so it was more of a haberdashery type place. But it was interesting to go to nonetheless. But we also on that day visited the Broadway Tower. It's just called the Broadway Tower. And it was absolutely freezing that day to be going on, climbing to the top of the tower in that kind of weather was a bit crazy. But it was absolutely hilarious. So I don't know if... Let me just check before I tell you my story. But so this tower was a folly from some rich person, but it's in new ownership now. It's not with the same people, and it's been linked to William Morris. He apparently took a bath on the roof of the folly, which is like, why would you do that? Like, have to carry the water all the way to the top? Like, who does that? So there was lots of, like, in the shop, lots of William Morris stuff, which was quite nice. Did I get any? I don't think I did get any William Morris stuff. I got a few presents for people there, like Cotswolds sweets and things like that. But yes, so the folly, it had, I think it was three stories, and we just climbed to the top and then climbed back down again, and that was quite nice. But there isn't a picture of him, but there was in a lot of the like marketing stuff, like postcards, and I think there was jigsaw puzzle and things like that, and books, photograph books, and there was this beautiful stag, like really majestic stag. And so my friend Steph was like chatting to the guy behind the counter, saying, "Who is that beautiful stag? He's gorgeous." And the guy was, "Oh yeah, that's William. We had to shoot him." Okay. But he was mounted, his head was mounted in the shop, which was sort of down the lane, a couple of fields across from the folly. So if we wanted to go and see him, we could, which we did. I'll put up a picture. So that's William. And so Steph was like, "Oh, okay, well, hopefully you replaced him." And the guy was like, "Oh, yeah, he was replaced by another stag, but we had to shoot him a couple of weeks ago." Which I started to get the giggles at this point, because I was like, oh my God, these murderous people. But it's like, why would you tell the tourists that? You could literally have said anything, but no, you have to shoot them, apparently. Well, not apparently, it is good herd management. I think after brooding for a certain amount of years, you have to get a new stag, because otherwise it becomes a bit incestuous. But yeah, it was so hilarious that we were like saying how magnificent these beasts were, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we shot them." But anyway, yes. So that was Broadway. The Folly is definitely worth visiting for. And I swear the Folly was in an episode of Father Brown, like one of the earlier ones. I'm pretty sure, or something very similar to it was in an episode of Father Brown. Because that's another thing. I love the Cotswolds because I love Father Brown. Newer series aside, I do prefer the original cast. They were much better. But yeah, so I've always wanted to go to the Cotswold because of that. And it is really like how it is in Father Brown. It's like tiny, tiny villages. Like we took a wrong turn following the sat-nav, and ended up in this beautiful small village. What was it called? Like Upper Swell or Lower Swell? There is the Upper Swell and Lower Swell. It was absolutely beautiful, and all the daffodils were out. And when the sun shone, it was really, really pretty. Heinously expensive, so yeah, could never live there. But all these little villages were like, they were so out in the middle of nowhere, because they were like one track roads to get in and out of them, and then you were back in Stow and it was really busy again. So It's a really interesting place to visit. So that was the second day, and then the third day we were leaving, so we got up and packed away our bits and bobs. Oh, and I forgot to say, in Stow there's like lots of independent shops. There's not that many chain kind of shops. They tend to be the more expensive kind of chain shops if they are there. So it was a really nice town to explore, but they did have an independent bookshop where I picked up this book, which was just calling to me. So I'm very into little sparks of joy at the moment because of the crazy world. So this book was £12.99, and like usually I would have gone on Amazon and got it cheaper, but I thought £12.99, that's not bad, and it's, you know, it's an independent shop, it's helping people out. But this is a really great book because you can open it on any page. It doesn't really have like too much of a narrative, and it just gives you like little quotes and things that spark joy. So I just thought that was really lovely. There we go. And another book I've got that was in this, where was this shop? Could have been Broadway. I think it was Broadway. But I got this cookbook, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's actually written in American because it's cilantro and zucchini, and it has both ounces and cups as well as grams for the measurements. But it's beautiful. Look at this. It goes through the seasons with all the recipes. I just thought it was a really nice book if you're interested in that kind of thing. So I did a video last week, the week before, about wild garlic. So I know it's a little bit of a departure from vintage knitting, but I thought I like that kind of thing, and I'm very much into things that bring you joy. So, and that is one of the things that brings me joy. So cooking and foraging for free stuff brings me joy. So I thought I would share it with you. So do let me know in the comments. Did you like the video? Do you want to see more of that kind of thing, or does it not really interest you? It's up to you guys, really. Well, no, it's not actually. It's up to me. So I will probably still do it anyway because I liked it. So there. Anywho, the third day, so we went to Moreton-in-the-Marsh, I think it's called, not on the marsh, Moreton-in-the-Marsh, and this one had very expensive antique shops, so we didn't go into any of the antique shops, but we went there because on a Tuesday, which is the day we left, there is a farmer's market. Also, we thought it was more of a like market where there's like cheap tat from China. So we were a little bit disappointed, but there were a few stalls. There was a beautiful basket and wooden bowls and wooden utensils stall, which I could have bought so much from, but I controlled myself. So that was quite good. And there were like local bakery type stalls there as well. But yeah, it wasn't the sort of farmer's market that we were expecting, but there we go. Lesson learned. And there we also had a lovely coffee from a little coffee shop that we found. And there was, so the first day I forgot to tell you about, the first day, Stow-on-the-Wold has an ancient church there called St Edward's Church, and it has a door on it that has two trees growing out the side of it. And apparently this was what inspired the Lord of the Rings author. So we went, I think that was one of the first things we did on that day, actually, was go there to have our picture taken with the rest of the tourists. And there was quite a queue when we got there, actually. And that was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you do go early or later in the evening when no one's there. But I'll pop up the picture. So Moreton-in-the-Marsh has a pub called, I think it's the Bell Inn, and that is supposed to have inspired, oh God, I don't know what it's called in the books, but it was his inspiration for the pub in whichever book he wrote. I'm not into Lord of the Rings, by the way. So that was quite interesting to visit. And Steph was a big fan, so we sort of wandered around the pub where there was this huge dog in the doorway that looked like the never-ending story dog or dragon, whatever it is. So we explored there, and then it was time for home. So I drove, which was a bit of a drive. I think it didn't take me too long to get up there. It was only 2.5 hours up there, and I stopped halfway just for a rest. But on the way home, it was very, very busy on the way home. So I didn't stop, and it took about 3 hours, and it was a long drive for me. Which I realised to the Americans that will be nothing to you because you like to drive everywhere. But for me, it was a long way, but it was easier to drive because the trains, I think I would have had to change like a couple of times, and I was like, it's not that far away, I'll drive it. So yeah, that was my time there. I have to say, like, I knitted on the first night because I was fresh as a daisy, but the second and the third night I was getting a bit tired by this point and didn't want to ruin anything, so I didn't do much knitting. But it was nice just to get away for a few days, and I think we're so kind of accustomed to going abroad for holidays that actually when you look at different places in the UK, there's some really beautiful places, and yeah, more staycations, I think. So that was my holiday away. I think I've shown you everything I've bought. Oh no, I didn't. I did in Broadway, I think it was. Yeah, it was Broadway. There was a cute little, like, what would you call it? It was like a vintage shop, I guess. They had some buttons, some vintage buttons. A lot of them were quite expensive, if I'm honest. So this place was called Betty and Violet, and I bought just some little buttons. These are glass ones, I think. Are they glass? Yeah. And I thought they were just a really useful colour to have because it goes with everything. So I got that. And there was another shop that had only artists and creators that were in a 25-mile radius of the shop. And so my other obsession, which I forgot to tell you about, so what is bringing me joy at the moment is I have downloaded an app called Merlin, and it identifies, that's my dog, by the way, making that groaning noise. Oh no, he's snoring. It identifies birds by their tweeting. So you hold up, press the button, and it registers like all the different birds in the area. And I've been obsessed with it because it's just so joyous. Like listening to birds in the springtime is just joyous anyway, isn't it? It's just nice to sit in the garden with a cup of tea, just listen to the birds, and it's very calming and relaxing. But this app has brought me so much joy because not only do I know like what the different birds are around me, I still can't quite tell the difference. There's a few that I've learned, but most of them I can't tell the difference. But also, it's like Pokemon for grown-ups because like you get to catch like all the different birds, like, and every time you get a new bird on your list, it's like, I've got a new bird. And like I had a buzzard the other day. A buzzard. It was very exciting. The one thing I haven't got is the owl, because there is an owl in this area, but every time I've gone to capture it on the app, it's either too far away or it's stopped hooting, and I swear it is winding me up because it can see me. And every time I run out, because like usually when I take the dogs out, I don't bother to take my phone with me, I leave it on the sofa. But so I have to like run back in and get the app and open it and then press the button and then it stops hooting. So the owl has eluded me and I still haven't got it. And I've had this app since, I think it was January I've had it. Still haven't got an owl, but I did get a woodpecker, which was quite exciting, and a chiff-chaff. Who knew that there was a chiff-chaff? And it does make a sound that sounds like chiff-chaff. But yes, one of the birds that I've captured on my app, which always makes me giggle because of its name, the long-tailed tit. So these guys are so cute. They're like little itty-bitty birds. I'll put a picture up of what a real one looks like. But one of the artists in this shop had done all the local wildlife. Or she says, or he, I don't know who, if it's a man or a woman, but the person is called Dais, D-A-I-S. I hope I've pronounced that properly. What's the beeping noise? So this artist is called Dais Scott Bennett, and they have been slowly capturing the range and beauty of British birds. And currently I am drawing all of our native birds. There are approximately 500 of them, so I plan to be busy for a while. So this was one of them, the long-tailed tit. Didn't have a chiff-chaff, would have bought the chiff-chaff otherwise as well. But I just thought it was so beautiful, and they're all like, I think they're ink. This is a print, but they're all ink, and they draw them out really beautifully, really detailed, and then put like gold leaf. I just thought it was really pretty, so I'm going to pop that next to my bed properly. I should have got two, shouldn't I? Can't have an odd number. But yeah, I just thought it was really nice. It's nice to support local artists, isn't it? They did have an owl, but I didn't want the owl one. It wasn't as cool as this one. It wasn't as pretty as that one. So I went for the long-tailed tit, because all the tits make me laugh. I've had a great tit, a blue tit, and long-tailed tit, and a coal tit, which that was quite unusual, the coal tit. But blue tits and great tits are quite common, and I've had loads of those. I've seen those loads of times. So, but yeah, the long-tailed tit. I just thought it was cute, so got that. So that was my trip away and my joy. So that's it really for this month. So the only other thing to say is I have come to the end of, or nearly come to the end of, all of my spring knitting patterns that I've been scanning in. And it is now time, guys. I know it doesn't feel like it, especially not at the moment because it's a bit chilly. It is time to start thinking about our summer knits. So oh yeah, I can tell you about this, can't I? I got like the mother load of eBay purchases. It's really heavy. Grandma's knitting patterns. And I thought, oh my God, I need this. I can't remember how much I paid, but it wasn't very much. And it's absolutely stuffed full of patterns that this lady had obviously collected over a lifetime. Where did I pop that? There it is. So I will be working next on all of my summer knits. So you can start knitting now. So hopefully by the summer you will have a lovely outfit, or just a top if you just want the top. So that was one of my eBay purchases. The other eBay purchases, this particular lady had a penchant for cotton knitwear. So there were lots of ones like this from this company. How do you say it? Liz Cordette or Liz Cordette. Don't know how that's said. So I thought, what is this? So I looked it up, and it is a cotton brand that you can still buy the yarn for. So let's have a look at this pattern, shall we? So it doesn't really say what the like thickness is, because with a lot of cotton like this, it's used for like doilies. So they do have like a way of recording like what the thickness is or the gauge is, but it's very difficult because it's not the same as knitting yarns. It's difficult to find, like this just says you need 9 ounces of twilies or twillies. Oh God, all the words I'm pronouncing today. Liz Cordette fine knitting cotton. So fine knitting cotton, what the heck does that mean? But I didn't let that stop me. So this is cotton number 5, so that will mean something in thickness. But I just thought the colour was beautiful, so I had to get this. So I have 9 of these, or no, 12 of these, and they are 1 ounce each. So that will definitely make this. So the biggest size needs 11 ounces. So even with the biggest size of this, I could get this sweater out of my 12 ounces. But so I got this off eBay. So if you want to match some of these patterns, like what's this one? This is a robin pattern. So that would be really nice. And this, can you imagine that? In this bright pink, that'd be gorgeous. Or like a pale lemon would be nice for that one. Let's see what this says. Yeah, 3-ply. So modern day 4-ply, or if you want, you could get 3-ply from Susan Crawford. But yeah, so a lot of the patterns that she had were cotton, and a lot of them were like homeware ones as well. So like doilies, what they call antimacassars, that sort of thing, tablecloths and all that. But a lot of the summer ones are suited to a cotton, because obviously cotton is a nice summery yarn. It's probably a little cooler than woolly wool, although wool does have magical qualities in that it keeps you cool and keeps you warm at the same time. But anyway, if you want to look online and get some vintage yarn, I recommend this brand. Yeah, so I got this one because it was just such a beautiful colour. And then I have this one as well. So let's have a look. What's this? Let's see the label. This is fine knitting cotton. So that would make, where has it gone? This one. And I've got 6 ounces of this. So will I be able to make it? Let's have a look. 9 ounces, maybe not, but this looks quite a long style, so if you wanted to do it like more of a high-waisted one, maybe you could just about get that out of this. But this is the other colour that I got, which is gorgeous sort of royal blue, which I thought was quite pretty. So you can on eBay, they come up quite frequently. I think the other colours, there was like a taupey kind of browny kind of colour, which it's not very summery, is it? But that pink was definitely a summery colour. That's what I'll be doing. I've got some gorgeous summer things coming up. So here's this one. Let's give you a little preview. I think that's gorgeous for summer. You can pick out the flowers in beautiful summery colours. You don't have to do it in a dark colour, the background. You can do a nice bright summery colour. This one. So this one is a knitting machine one. And I think they're lying when they say you can make it in 45 minutes. So let me know if you can make it in 45 minutes. I don't believe it. What else have we got? Oh, this is a machine one as well. I thought this was quite fun, like a bikini, knitted bikini, if you're into that for the summer, with a little summer cover up. And this one I love. I really want to have a go at making this one because it's so beautiful. So that's another knitting machine one if you have a knitting machine. And then just normal knitting, so a sort of summery shawl. I thought that was pretty. This one I definitely want to knit. A little cap sleeve sort of with a little detail going on at the front. But yeah, more of the same really. I seem to have a lot of knitting machine ones for the summer. A little 60s type one, that's quite cute for a summer dress. All of these are sort of summery, and cotton would be absolutely fine for them. Would be fab. So lots of summery knitting patterns are going to be coming up on my website, and hopefully next episode I'll be able to update you on my Helen Pattern. So I know last month I said that it was with the tech editor, but she had a family thing going on, so she couldn't work on it for quite a while. So there's no update there, unfortunately, because she didn't do anything. But she assures me I'm at the top of her list, and that last week and this week she's working on it. So hopefully by the next video I will have some sort of idea of when the pattern might be able to be released, and be able to update you all on that. Other than that, I think that's it for this episode. I've probably forgotten to say a load of stuff. Let me just check my list, actually. Some minutes. Yep. No, I think I've said everything that I need to. That's all there is to it, really. This month, I promise I will do a poll on merch items. So with a new month comes new merch samples. So the 3 for March I've popped up on the website, which is a tote bag, a phone case and a notebook. Again, thank you to anyone who's placed an order. It's really appreciated, and I'm so excited for you that you'll be getting your goodies. So next month, April, or this month by the time I post this video, I will do some polls on what you'd like to see next in the merch stakes, unless I get excited and order them again. Anyway, I think that's the thing. So I will see you soon.